Okay, so in a previous video, we've had a look at created corrugated sheeting for a roof, where you've actually got the profile visible. But there are a few issues with it. Now, just having a little look, when you do angles on that roof, you can just see under here you've got that jagged effect. Now, that is a product of using a profile as your mullions. So we're going to have a look at some workarounds for that. Now, I'm not going to go through creating the sheet roof again, but I'll include the link in my notes for that, so you can watch that video again. But what we do want is to have a look at creating some of these strips, and also how to create yourself a nice smooth edge as well, like we've got by there. So we're going to look at this one first. So I'll quickly just stick a roof on this one. So architecture, roof by footprint. Yes, level 1. Change it to our sheet roof, which I've already created. And then let's pick lines. I'll give it an offset. And first one can be defining slope, so by here, and then the other two are not going to define slope, and tick. Okay, so let's look at that in 3D. We can see that goes around there, and if we want to, let's just make those walls attach to the roof. There we go. Okay, so we've got that jagged effect. Doesn't look that good. So what are we going to do to create this here? Well, what we're going to have a look at is a model in place, and we want to make sure that we do it on the correct work plane so that we can actually get it to match up with the roof. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, set a work plane and pick a plane, click OK, and then zoom in and pick the top panel of the roof like so, and click that. So that's now our work plane. We can show that, and it brings up that blue face flush there. Okay, what we can then do is open up a viewer, which can be handy. So I'll do that. And there's a separate little view now looking directly at it. So if you don't spin it around, you've got that view looking straight down at that work plane. What I want to do now is go to component, model in place, and I'm just going to create a generic model. Say OK, and we'll call this one capping. Okay, obviously you can call it whatever you want. And we're just going to create an extrusion. So what we need to do is to make sure that we get it on this line. Okay, so keep it at the right angle. Now, we could pick lines maybe, that might work better. There we go, yeah, we'll pick lines. Alright, so that gives us a good little starting point. Let's just join those together, and then we'll click on them and make them longer. Oop. There we go, make sure we maintain the correct angle. It does that by locking onto it for us, which is quite handy. Zoom in there, got it in the right place. Just check and get this one in the right place as well. There we go. Okay, so what we can do now is offset that. Not by 600, I'll say 400 for now. Let's see how that goes. That's a little bit bigger than I need. Let's change it down to 300. There we go, that looks pretty close. Okay, so that's created that, and join that there. Now I'm going to create another. I'll move that now from there because I want it to go over this bit. So I'll just move it from that point to that point. And then on this corner down here, I'm just going to tidy that up as well with a little line there. There, and you may wish to change that to a square cut. So we could do that like that. And then we can just tidy those up. Okay, so what I'll do here, just to do this one slightly differently, I will mirror this one instead. So I'll click on that, click the mirror, find the top of there, do that, and trim it together. And I could have mirrored this little detail by here as well, which would have been a good idea. There we go, and just trim those together there. All right, now we've got material by category, so let's make it the same material. I may have to run through that because if it doesn't have the material on there, I'll go through how to add that in a bit. All right, so that's the shape. Let's tick it. Okay, so we're happy with it on that one. Let's jump back to our main building, and we can see at the moment that the thickness and the height of it is not quite where we want. But as we click on it, we get these blue arrows. So let's adjust the lower arrow first and take it down to just below. Okay. That'll do. And then the top arrow, same sort of thing. And if it's a bit too fat, we can still just lower it down a bit more. Ooh, a bit too much. There we go. All right, so that's our first one, where we've created our coping or sort of end flashing, I suppose, for the corrugated sheets, which just gives it a nice finish rather than that sort of bare jagged edge. So I'm just going to stop this video by here, and then we'll transfer across to the next video to do our other edge over there. So finish model here, and of course we can leave it by there, and I'll join you in the next video.